week. It's because it's me, I know. But they are behind the curtain, so how are you guys? Much better, much better. I remember you, dude. Are the turtle girls here too? No, they're not. No offense, guys, but turtle girls. It's just cool. Were you at the panel yesterday for the turtles? So if I said this segment brought to you by Playmate Toys, all right, we'll bring that back today. All right, well, this panel is a voice acting panel, even though it is just the turtles. So it could be turtle questions, it could be any questions today. So that whole Yakko's World inquiry yesterday, that'll be the end cap. How's that? All right, let's bring them out. First up, come on out, Clarke. Paging Clarke.
How are you, Calgary?
Whatever seat you want. Except for this one. This one's mine.
Okay, music, sing, la la, turtle power.
All right, next up, let's bring out Barry Gordon. Anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. Next up, April O'Neil, Renae Jacobs. Next up, how about Townsend Coleman? And again, last but not least, our friend Rob Paulsen. All right, so I already informed them, even though it is the Turtles, it's a voice acting panel. So any questions, anything you want to do, and we were talking quietly, Rob, and the request is Yakko's World at the end. That's the
baby.
The cap, if you're into it.
I hate that song.
All right, forget it.
Kidding. Absolutely. No, that would be great. So, like Jeffrey said, I mean, probably the best use of your time is to have questions, and that would be lovely. And it's such a great theater. We probably don't even need a microphone, right? You can.
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah. Do you want to? Oh, look! How about that beautiful girl with a tick shirt on? Look
Now
at that.
Nice spoon.
Yeah.
Sweet. It's the first thing we saw.
I tried it without the mic, and the back row started complaining, so I think we need him.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's one
All
up
right.
there.
Yeah, that guy right there. He was complaining.
Okay.
Yeah, but what about the free hugs? That's all I care
I
about.
saw that.
All right, right here, Spoon, you're first.
Oh, ask it anyway.
Okay.
Are you harassing me on the first question? Seriously? Moving on.
Because if you keep doing that, you're really going to get them.
All right, go ahead.
That's a good question.
Well, listen, I auditioned for it and didn't get it.
You didn't?
Really? Yeah, no, I auditioned
didn't
for it
know
and
that.
didn't get it. And then somebody else did it for the first episode. And then
they sucked.
They didn't like that.
That was Patrick, right?
Yeah,
Warburg?
was it Pat?
Yeah, and then they fired
Yeah,
him,
right, Pat. Yeah. And so then they had a recast and brought a couple of us back in, and that's when I ended up getting it. And so they'd already recorded the first episode. I came in and had to just record my lines, but because my lines were all with Arthur also, Mickey Dolenz, who was the voice of Arthur for the first season,
15, yeah.
and Robbie was Arthur for the seasons 2 and 3. It was just me and Mickey Dolenz there in the studio doing that first episode, and I was like, "Whoa, this is weird. He's my sidekick."
Yeah.
What often happens with auditions is we read for many parts.
Right.
Whatever the breakdown is, it's your agent says read this one, not that one, and that one, and you'll get. I think I got called back before I landed Der Fledermaus. For a couple different ones. And then again, like we said at Turtles, they switch back and forth, and so you read for a number of things.
And as that show sort of unfolded, my God, what an incredible group of people. Remember Kay Lenz was American Made?
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
Kay Lenz.
Kay Lenz. And we had the Firesign Theater came in for a couple of episodes.
They were my heroes.
Yeah, mine
coming
too.
in.
Phil Proctor. Tony
Tony
was
J.
Tony J on the show?
Yeah,
I think he
Tony
did.
was on it. Yeah, he was the El Cid.
El Cid, yeah.
Hero.
Yeah, right.
Chairface Chippendale.
Chairface
right.
Chippendale,
Oh
yeah.
no, El Cid was Ed
Gilbert.
Gilbert,
Albert
yeah.
Gilbert, who
And
passed
Tony
away.
was, yeah, right.
Yeah, and Tony, of
Chairface
course, is no longer with us as well, but he was great. And also, you were DeFleetermouse, and my friend the Brian Maurice was the Mad Bomber with bombs at midnight.
Yeah. Evil Bomber, what bombs at midnight?
Yeah, baby, yeah. I mean, honey, you would be doing what you're doing now for 4 hours every week. It was just giant fun. And then Townsend would get these absurd lines and like Spoon, and nobody better than a nut job like Townie. Thank you. Who else has a question?
All right, that's that guy in the back with the black, yellow. Yeah, you.
Yeah. Rob, you've often said on your podcast that the real show is the actual recording itself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you guys what your best moment is because I'm sure that's hard to place. But what moment first comes to mind, like as a moment from behind the microphone?
Well, we all are fortunate enough to, as you can imagine, and thank you, by the way, for mentioning my podcast. A little shameless plug here. All of these people have been on it. It's called Talkin' Tunes. You can get it on iTunes. It's free, and you should listen to it if you are remotely a fan of animation, because everybody here, including all the other actors whom you like, Tom Kenny, Billy West, Tress MacNeille, Nancy Cartwright, Maurice LaMarche, Mark Hamill, they've all been on, and it's great fun. But we all have our respective sort of highlights. It's so hard when you're lucky enough to have done this a long time. It's hard to pinpoint one, but there was. What are you doing now, Cameron?
We don't know who you
None
are
of you
now.
have your prize tags on but me.
Put it back on. We don't know
Cameron,
who
you are priceless. You don't need a price tag.
Love for
There you go.
sale.
That's right. This right now, this is the moment. This is it. This is the best moment in my life.
You're watching it.
I have to tell you, actually, you know what? That's not too far from the truth. We've all done so many things that I can't necessarily remember because I'm older than Cam. Thank you for that. Geez, you know, this guy's hung like a light switch. It's really... Hey, you asked for it, baby. That's the kind of stuff that we do all the time.
That is absolutely the kind of stuff they did all the time.
But when
you
that
go.
light's on,
You know, can I just say, honest to God,
I have a rheostat, by the
I know
way.
you do. Can I just say, this weekend, I swear to God, this is not trying to get out of your great question. We all have an embarrassment of riches in terms of those great memories, but having all of us together this weekend with, I mean, an unbelievable, sweet group of people.
yeah, the best fans. Yeah.
This is a highlight. This is great. Thank you. We've had a blast. This is a big deal for us. Thank you. Oh, it's our pleasure. And Cam was able to get through the border, irrespective of his occasional, legal issues. Next question.
We don't want to talk how he got through the border, but
Yeah.
he did. This lady right here is next, right here.
This question's for everybody. You guys have been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
So when you get a new character, like how do you like come up with like a new voice so you're not like, to make each voice unique for every new character you've played? You guys are so prolific.
I don't. That's why I do very little work. No. Because I mostly did on camera, so a lot of the stuff I get is, Donatello is really my voice, as you can probably now tell. I just pitch it up a little higher, and Bebop I pitch lower, and then Nestle Quick Bunny I pitch up here, and that's
He
basically
was
it.
the quick bunny for
Those are my three.
35 years.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's like having a bunch of voices that are just waiting to be cast. The voice I did on, any of y'all ever seen Barnyard?
Back at the barnyard. We got to
Back
work
at the barnyard. We did the feature and then the series. Well, the voice that
I did for Freddy the Ferret.
is something I had just been. I would audition with that voice over and over again for different shows because I knew sometimes someone is going to want to use that voice, and finally happened. So that's my part of that.
I certainly think, like Cammie says, you just have these characters bouncing around in your head. And one of the things that's great about doing voice work, obviously, is that you're not encumbered by being an average-looking white guy, or in some cases, an incredibly hot blonde woman.
Well, thank you.
And I was
You mean Renae?
Yeah. I was so close to saying Renae, and then somebody who wants to be an incredibly hot blonde woman is Cam. So, yeah. It's great because, here we go. The light switch is clearly on. This is great. It's like harp. Oh, good. Thank you. Oh, you see that? Okay. Great. Thank you, buddy. It's becoming that kind of show, is it?
Because we want a little privacy up
Right.
here.
That's right. You guys, I know in Toronto they used to have the Baby Blue movie at night, so that's kind of what this is turning out to be. Anyway, no, we can think outside the box. We don't have to be in. It's great. So that's.
You'll
That's
also
one
look
of
at the facial characteristics of a thing. If it has big teeth
Yeah.
or a big mustache or a hanging jaw or something, you kind of go along
Hanging
with some of the
something. Yeah,
features like that.
Yeah, I mean, they'll show you a picture and give you some sample dialogue. So yeah, when you look at the picture, for me, it's just looking at the picture instantly tells me something, that where it's going to go. And
Instantly
I tend
tells
to
you
talk.
you're not going to get the part.
Which means I'm not going to get it, yeah. But I tend to talk to myself a lot just when I'm alone. So that's sort of the voices we're doing. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to you. Was that right? No, I'm not talking to you either. But that wasn't me he was talking to. No, that's right. It's not.
My imaginary friends won't even talk to me.
They hate that medication.
They're-
But the thing is that Townsend, it's a great example, is because Townsend on The Tick, and like you said, they had already recorded one episode and it didn't quite work with what their idea was of what they wanted. But what Townsend brought to it is, he was obviously Michelangelo as well, which is a complete departure from that incredibly giant ego, giant goofball Tick thing, and he captured beautifully how absurd the Tick was. And the reason it worked is because the Tick never thought he was absurd, right? And Townsend, so it was skill as an actor that really brought it to bear and was perfect.
But sometimes you don't know. Because sometimes, no, really, because a lot of the time you do the reads at your agent's office, so you don't go in initially, so you get something. Yeah, you get something from the animation department. And sometimes, for example, they'd come in with a snake, right? So everyone would do the hiss, and we'd all talk like this, and we do, and we'd go, all
Cam
do
will get
this,
it.
and then what would happen
The
is
hiss that I would
you'd
use
find
was
out
more like
a week
this.
later. No, oh yeah, well that's true.
Special kind of list.
It's a different
for
kind
a
of
special
list.
kind of snake.
Wait,
It's a different hiss.
How many S's in that?
But actually, to complete the story, but then you find out like a week later, oh no, we didn't want hisses. We don't want it to sound like a snake. We want it to sound like something else. So sometimes you just don't know, and sometimes it's whoever walks in with the voice that just captures their imagination. That's what works. That's what happens.
Or then you get the flip side of that, and they said, no, it's a gerbil. More like a real gerbil.
More like a real gerbil.
A real,
Yeah, right.
That's not gerbil enough. It's like, okay.
Okay. And that guy's had his hand up the whole time. Yeah, you. I'm looking while they're talking, by the way, so I know who's ready. Speak up.
This is a question for all of you. Do you have a memorable laugh from any character you've ever done? And can we hear it?
Liquid.
Yeah.
All right. What shall I lead into with that?
Dealer's choice.
All right.
My dear brother.
I've used all of my energy on my friend Rob here. Thank you, Calgary, for being such wonderful hosts. I will see you from the elbow down in part 3. Now, what my fellow actors here don't know is probably elbow down. In part 3 of this, part 3, is it? I come back as an elbow.
Oh, well, there you go.
What? Part 2. Sorry. Jeez.
It's been so
An
long.
elbow? Yeah. Like macaroni or what?
From here
Yeah.
to here.
That's it.
Just plain.
Yeah. Ocelot stealed my arm.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what you talk out of.
Yeah.
I'm with
Robbie,
you.
do you have a laugh? Do you have a favorite
On
laugh?
a very special Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. With me, I'm Bialik. Well, let's see. He's a little bit worn out now, but you know, Pinky likes to go, Nerf!
Yeah. Yes.
La 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 la!
I would say probably mine was I did the voice of Spot, the little red 7-Up Spot, for years in the commercials, and it was like, walk with it.
And he did that for like a couple hours, and you had that gig for 7 years.
Yeah, did 2 sessions, both each about an hour, built a library, and they just kept pulling from that library for 7 years, making all these spots. I was like, okay, I like this business.
Donatello never laughed. He was too busy in the lab, you know. But let's see. Quick Bunny, I guess, had, you know.
Like a bunny.
Because he was up here and he
That's a scary Quick Bunny.
That's scary! Yes!
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was like kind of a pedophile Quick Bunny.
That was Quick Bunny.
Now that I think about it, I probably should have picked something else, but it worked.
So April O'Neil never laughed either. She was the straight woman. Yes. But she did say, "Put me down, you big ape."
Yeah, there you go.
My signature.
Faye Ray said the
and
same
then laughed to herself.
I laughed at I laughed at all of these guys. Can you imagine being in a studio with? I mean, my face hurt for hours after recording.
Oh. Cam is rubbing off
That's
on
why
you.
we dig this crowd.
I
What-
wish.
what
We're going to
channel
have to
is
separate
this?
you two.
I was just about to say Cam straight April means that she was just serious. That's what I was going to say. He beat me to, hey, good job, good job. All right, that gentleman right there, yes, you. No, the guy next to you.
Sorry.
No, the other guy next to him.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
you're all wrong.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fact-
no, the bigger
in fact, that's-
guy. Yeah,
in fact,
you.
that's a woman.
You
I'm sorry,
win,
we-
yes. You're up, ma'am. Go ahead.
Of all the voice roles that you've tried for, what is your favorite one that you didn't get?
I can answer that right off the bat. I had 2 callbacks for Philip J. Fry on Futurama. Jesus Christ. But you know what? As is often the case, not unlike Townsend's circumstance where they got the ticket and clearly made the right choice, they made the right choice with Billy West.
Totally, yeah.
Billy is the best guy for the job. Yeah. That's one because not only because the show ran for long, it was a great show. It's Matt Groening, it's all those great actors, Billy and Mo and Tress and DiMaggio and Katie Seagal and just terrific actors, right? And so I was sorry I didn't get it, but Billy is not only one of my dearest friends, but absolutely was the right choice, clearly. Yeah.
I remember auditioning for this character called Wacko in a show that you might be familiar with.
Yeah, I've seen him naked. Luckily,
And,
his hair covers
and-
pretty much everything, if you know what I'm saying.
And then when I saw what Jess was doing, it was like, are you kidding? Of course.
Townsend did you did Animaniacs, right? And Pinky and the Brain.
Animaniacs and Pinkies with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I first started out doing animation work, the first job that I booked was a reboot of Johnny Quest, playing Haji. And I was so excited. Wait.
I didn't know this story until very recently, so go ahead.
And I was, my first gig, hey, Ma, guess what? Look, Ma, I'm dancing. So I was really excited. And then my agent, who is also Rob's agent, she goes, honey, I have to tell you something. They replaced you. Really? Yes, Rob Paulsen is going to be playing that now.
I never knew that until recently. Honest to God. Is that what's happened to you?
I was scarred from
My
then on
God,
out.
I'm so sorry. Oh dear. This poor man is just a walking disaster as a result of that.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Are we done?
Renae,
I got all three I was up for.
So I'll tell you my story. Every woman in Los Angeles auditioned for April O'Neil. There were 200-300 people. I don't know. Everyone. So I get the call. I've got the job. So I get into the studio, and our director was a fellow named Stu Rosen. And for those of you who might be familiar with him, he was interesting. Yeah. And so he'd come up to you with a cigarette. Well, Renae, I just want you to know that I played every single audition of every single woman in Los Angeles, and I didn't play yours. And I'm like, what? He says, so the producers didn't like any one of them. So I said, well, I have this one, but I don't think she's right. And they played it, and they said, that's April O'Neil.
Wow, I never heard that. That's awesome.
it's a great story.
So you never know what's going to happen in show business.
Wow. Great story. Are you picking the...
I am. I just wanted to make
no,
sure we were done.
thank you. Yeah,
Cam, are we all set?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. This lady right here, yes, you. You've had your hand up the whole time. Yes, you. That's a guy behind you.
When you guys started out in the industry, what was your favorite piece of advice you were given, and is there any advice you'd like to pass on for those knocking on the industry's door?
Yeah, I started before most of these people were born, except for Barry. In 1964, my family had a variety show on ABC 1,000 years ago. And
The King Family.
The King Family.
Anybody
Look it up
know?
at officialkingfamily.com. And I remember even as a little kid, when, you do these roles, and I remember my mom saying, don't believe it until you see the closing credits. Because we can all be replaced, and she said, you just don't know, so you keep an open mind, and keep low to the ground. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just anything can happen. And she says, until you see your name on the closing credits, then you know you got it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I had any specific advice. I think I learned pretty quickly. Like most of us, we started doing stage work, music, and then kind of segued into cartoons because they weren't. I mean, they've always been around, but they're not as ubiquitous as they are now. They're huge now, right, everywhere. But it was very clear to me when I was working with such great actors, and when I got started, was that it's not just about the funny voice. It's about acting. It's about creating characters like the Tick, that are really multi-layered, and the reason that these characters hold such important places in your hearts and the ones that in mine as well are because you hear the voice, but it suggests all sorts of other fantastic depth to the character, And also, in my case, it's all about having as many arrows in your quiver as you can. If you can sing, sing. If you can sing in character, better. If you can do dialects, even if you sing badly, you may be appropriate for the character, right? So don't limit yourself. Swing for the fences on all of it, but never stop doing everything you can do to sort of improve your skills. Improv is so important, at least in my career. It's gotten me work. It's kept me on shows. I've done shows where I'm a one-off character and I do something that the producer likes, and all of a sudden I got 12 more episodes. So It's about, like Billy West says, being fearless, not afraid to try stuff, all of the above, and just continue to work and improve. Yeah.
I guess I started really young. I mean, I started at 3 years old, and
Okay, fine, you beat me.
and I didn't really get into voice acting for a while after that. I think I was 13 when I did my first voice thing, which was the voice of the Cheerios kid. And I think that Rob is 100% right. If you kind of just go for the funny voice, you've got trouble. You've got to create a character that really has a soul. And I think that's absolutely right. But I think the best advice that my parents ever gave me, because I did start so young, and I've seen so many who started as child actors not turn out so well in their lives, and that it's a great sadness for me to see that. And I think that you always have to remember that you're a human being and part of a family first. And never let it go to your head, because it can disappear in a heartbeat. And right now I'm teaching, which I love, at Cal State LA. I'm teaching in the Master of Fine Arts program there, in the acting program. And that's the first thing that I tell my students, is just have a great time, enjoy it, and don't assume that you're going to be this giant star, and don't act like a giant star when you become one. Just be a real person. And this week, we've met so many great people, who are all over here, and they're just beautiful, to have lunch with and to talk with. And there are some really great people in this business, but you have to always keep that in your head.
Yeah, and for me, probably the best advice I got was from my mom when I wanted to go to theater school, graduating high school and wanted to go to theater school, and she said, if I'm paying for your college, you're going to go study something you can get a job in. Yeah. And then, boy, that fired my ass. So I said, fine, then I'm going to go get a job in something I can make a living at. You just go for what you want, go for what you love. If it's in you, then you just go for it.
Also, I think you have to develop a very thick skin, and to remember that, for me, I started out in theater, and I came up with we talked about it, Broadway's where you're happy. So it doesn't mean that you get to Broadway and the show's fantastic and the people are wonderful. It can be a horrible experience. And doing dinner theater in Calgary downtown can be the most wonderful experience of your life, and develop friends for life. So shoot for the stars, but don't be afraid. Develop that thick skin and find out where you're happy.
Yeah. Yeah, well said.
Yeah. This gentleman here, the filthy one, he has had his hand up literally since I think the beginning.
Okay.
So he's next. Yeah.
Well, it's stuck like
He's
that.
filthy
so
casual.
That's actually a result of an unfortunate parachuting accident. So
Oh,
he's not
sorry.
answering
You
your
didn't have a question. I'm sorry.
he's just scratching his head.
Go ahead.
Tell the broomstick story.
And
me
it's
tell you,
not
we
what
have
you
a-
think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have. We've all been in well, not all of us, but we've had circumstances where I did, Jess Harnell and myself, and Townsend had worked with this particular director, and there was a time, and Jess Harnell was just getting started, and we were working together on some show, and this particular director came out, and the character which Jess Harnell was playing was supposed to be falling down a flight of stairs, and making this noise, and the director wasn't getting what he wanted, so he came out and he had a broom. And he said, okay, roll, just go and roll it. And he would start poking Jess with the broom handle, right? And we got done, and I took this guy aside, and I grew up in Michigan, I was a hockey player. So I said, you ever pull that shit with me, you're gonna wear that goddamn thing. Are you kidding me? You don't go poking an actor with a stick, Stop it. And but no, in answer to your question, I mean, if it requires you to, you're desperately ill, with all due respect, if you require you to injure yourself to play a guy who's injured, you know, I'm sure there are people that stay up late at night and they'll stay up overnight if they're playing a guy who's tired and confused on film. We don't do that. I mean, we don't even have to be off book. We've got the script right in front of us, you know. Right. And all my experience has been practical experience, and I've studied with method people. I studied with Stella Adler for a couple of years. I've studied with, you know, people who, I know. I got to stop dropping names. Bob De Niro told me that. So for me, it's just about, you know, cultivating my own experiences and acting, I guess.
It's called the school of pretending.
Yeah.
We just pretend.
And speaking of own experiences or pretending, about a year or so ago, I got an audition to do some promos, and the request came, the voice thing they were looking for, it said, All-American Gay.
Now it's supposed to be a you, right?
And this was promos for this Paula Abdul reality train wreck show thing. And so I booked the job. Surprise! And, you know, and I'm going, gay, do they mean, well, I know what they meant. Yeah. So I get to the session, and we get to I do the first take, and I'm, stay tuned, you will not believe what Paula does next.
Are you kidding me?
No, and then the producer, you know, hits the talk back and goes, okay, great, good, we're loving that, we got that. Can we pull it back just a little bit? Oh, okay. Stay tuned. You won't believe what Paula does next. Okay, good. Can we pull it back? So we pulled it back and pulled it back and pulled it back and pulled it back till we ended up with, stay tuned. You won't believe what Paula does next. So I guess that's your all-American gay. Booyah!
Yeah, we all are. What a great story. I love that.
All right, next question's right here. Or making reservations under an impression.
If you use a beautiful English accent, I think you get better service. Excuse me, may I cut in front of you in line? Yeah. All of you. Well, thank you.
Have you done that, Tony?
Well, yeah, you do the drive-through at Carl's Jr. Yeah. All right, dude, let me see. I'm going to get the superstar with, the double with super... No, never mind. I'm just going to get pizza!
I had my son dared me once at a drive-thru at McDonald's because they were had Animaniacs Happy Meals. So he said, "I'll bet you won't talk to the guy, you know, at the drive-thru as Yakko." And I said, "Sure I will." So you know, you pull up and the guy, you know,
Hello. You know, please speak out of the clown's mouth.
or whatever, and he says, "How can I help you?" I said,
Yeah, I'd like 14 Big Macs, 13 with no meat, 12 with extra lettuce, and blah, 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 and have it delivered to the water tower in 5 minutes. Get it, everybody!
you know, and and the guy's there's of course a perfect beat. Who is this? And of course I said,
It's Yakko, asshole.
how disturbingly great is it to hear your favorite cartoon character swear? Right? I know. It was great. Yeah, I did, and then I went inside, and they had, you know, the display of the Happy Meal. So I told him, you know, I really am the guy, and all, and it was great fun. They got a big kick out of it. And,
Oh, dude,
And then they called the police.
yeah,
I don't think you know who I am. Ow! Don't tase me, bro!
you know.
Sure, he's the guy. All right here, Lamb Hunters.
I was wondering if there were any characters or voices that you've come up with over the years that you've never had the chance to use, and if so, would you like to share them?
I don't know. And this is for me. It's just like this keeps coming out when I want to. It's like what Cam was talking about, going to that voice you want to go to audition with, and I keep going. There's got to be a marker for this guy somewhere. And then, please.
I think there's a bus for that guy.
Short one.
Yeah. I actually, I do. For a long time now. Yes, freaky haw. I called our good friend of many of ours, Lorraine Newman, whom most of us know from being on Saturday Night Live, but she's an incredible actress and does a lot of voice work. And I called her a couple months ago. She was on my podcast. And I called her out of the blue. I said, could I speak to Lorraine Newman, please? This is Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. I met you at a convention in Alhambra, and I was dressed like Pinocchio. I'm about 6'2", about 847 pounds. And I asked you for your phone number. You wouldn't give it to me, but I got it anyway. So she hung up the phone. I called back and she said, hello? And I said, hi, Lorraine, it's Rob. And she said, oh my God, there was just this fucking weirdo. I said, well, I must be good at my gig, because that was me, you know? So yeah, I'm looking for a place where I could do this guy. Like him? Hi.
I'll tell you the voice that I would like to use. It's this one.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever booked something with
your
just
voice?
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot of promos and stuff with that voice, right? Because you got a great natural voice.
Stay tuned. You won't believe what Paula does next.
The only thing I use voices on sometimes are telemarketers. If they call up, yes, and I But that's the only. It's the only. Oh, the gibberish is golden. Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of the only time I've ever done that.
Oh, bless her heart, Lorraine. She says, Renae says, my face is hurting.
Cam.
Mine is too, but it's because I had way too much Botox last week.
Is that what they call it now? We're having a Botox party, yo!
All right, we're getting the wrap it up sign. I'm sorry, we got the sign. So to close up here, if Rob is up for it, we're supposed to be done 4 minutes ago.
Are you kidding me?
No.
God, I'm sorry.
Does that include
It's not
Sean
up to us. You need to write in the
us?
back.
Wait, we started late because of Sean.
Yes.
We're pulling a Sean.
This is not on me.
Maybe one more?
He gave us the signal.
Okay, we're gobbling up the
Which
time.
finger
Let's
was
take
that
another one.
again?
He says he's got to wrap it up.
Oh, you're number one too. All right, he said
right.
wrap it up. So we're gonna wrap it up with a special gift to all of you.
Okay, well,
Haven't heard it yet.
Actually, before he does it, let's see who the superest, uberest fan is out there. Who can tell? And this is only cool because it's a selfish. I love the fact that someone on this panel was on one of my favorite sitcoms. Who knows who on this panel was on Three's Company? Put your hand up. If no one guesses it, you all leave and Rob razzes you on the way out. No singing. Nobody even has a guess. You have a 1 in 5 chance. You had your hand up. No. No. No friggin' hands? Seriously? You. Townie's, no, 3 times. Barry. And Barry was on Three's Company. Does anyone know the episode? You got to go rent it now on Netflix. He was Suzanne Summers' secret admirer. The secret
admirer.
I wore white socks and black shoes.
It was. I have it in my backpack right now. If we had 20 minutes, we'd put it on. It's his star. You got to go watch it now. Who
Hey,
knew
I was on Family Feud.
a Ninja
Is that-
Turtle hit on Suzanne Summers.
How about that?
All right, that was my selfish moment. And now let's turn this over to Rob Paulsen.
All right. I honestly, though, thank you. This is kind of wrapping up our whole trip here, and really, truly, there is nothing like Canadian hospitality. You people, you guys, and I will wrap it up very quickly, but because I am such a big hockey fan, I have a lot of relatives here in Calgary and Ontario, grew up playing hockey, and I want to tell you this is a great thing for me to share with you guys. My hero has always been Gordie Howe, and I remember years ago, right? Gordie told me something once. We were together at a card show in Vancouver, and he was signing everything. I was signing Ninja Turtle pictures, and a young fellow walked up to Gordie and said something that was said to me this weekend, and I remember what Gordie told me, and this is reflective of how we all feel. The gentleman said, about my age, he said, gee, Mr. Howe, your hand must be getting tired from signing all of those things, and here's Gordie Howe, who's probably signed 1 million autographs in his lifetime, and said the following. He said, not at all, son, I've worked too hard for this privilege, right? And that is, and that's a guy, it gives me goosebumps just to think of it now. That is precisely how we all feel. It is a privilege to be here, and we do not take it lightly. And the fact that you guys have watched what we've done for a generation, it is incomprehensible to us that you, A, have done that, and you have no idea how much it means to us. So thank you, really.
Now, wait, I just have to, and I know we're wrapping up. We didn't know that y'all were late from the other conference, and we pull in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We pull in our little fans, ready to tell give you all our wonderful performing talents.
All right, now we're being actually
and there
fanned
is
off the
no
stage.
one in the theater.
Okay.
All right, here I go. So this is for you. We're going to be shot if we don't do this. It goes like,
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam, Norway, and Sweden, and Iceland, and Finland, and Germany, now one piece, Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey, and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain. India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan. Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan. Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan. Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, then Borneo, and Vietnam. Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana. But wait, there's more. Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone. Niger, Nigeria, Chad, and Liberia, Egypt, Benin, and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algeria, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea-Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Mayo, and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Crete, Mauritania, then Pennsylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
Thank you, Calgary. See you next year.